welcome to another episode of Talk and Takes. I am Natasha, and with me is my lovely co-host,
Ashley.
On today's topic, we'll be speaking on man and his emotions. And with us here, we have our lovely guest. We have Miss Ife Nwana. She is an information technology and communication expert. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Also, we have with us Pastor Akunchuku. He is a pastor, columnist, motivational speaker, and songwriter. Stay tuned with us, and we'll be right back.
Hey there! Are you looking to record your videos, do your voiceovers, and take your professional pictures? Look no further. With our state-of-the-art newsroom, photography, kitchen for our food content creators, and exclusive children's studio, we certainly can deliver the best studio experience. Our carefully designed studio space can bring your diverse creative content ideas to life. We aim to consistently serve value to our customers far and wide. Come, let Thav Media give life to your dreams. Thav Media, a slice of infotainment.
Welcome back. I'll say one of the few things we hear a lot of times when in regards to men is be a man. When they are down, when they are going through anything. You even hear people tell a 10-year-old, be a man. Do you think it's a bad statement to always say to people or to men to be a man?
Well, for me, it is.
Okay.
Because, the society has made man, or we've tagged man to be strong, bold, stoic, and all that. And it's very difficult for them to, express emotions.
Yeah.
And by doing so, they tend to hide it, to keep it to themselves, to feel like I can cope by myself.
Yeah.
And for that reason, you find out that from our parents, they always tell us or tell the male, character to be a man.
Yes.
Men don't cry, or big boys don't cry, or you act like a man, like a lady, or like a girl.
Yeah.
It could be very, very destructive.
Yeah.
It could make them to go back to their shells, to suffer alone.
Yes.
So I think
Pastor
it's
Alfred,
bad.
why do you think the society does that to men?
Well, I think that manhood entails a lot of stuff, a lot of qualities. Now, when you hear people say be a man, what they actually mean is that you should be strong because manhood entails strength, courage, confidence, and then being leadership. You understand? But it's just that now when people hear this be a man, some now abuse it or misunderstand it and now use it for becoming a bully, becoming aggressive. Now, being a man doesn't mean you should be aggressive. It doesn't mean you should be domineering. It doesn't mean you are superior to the females. They're only saying you should be strong. You should be courageous. Because if something happens sometimes in a family, for instance, and then the man is shivering, it can just make the entire family to lose hope on that situation. But when the man is still strong, even though he's going through challenges, his strength can strengthen other members of the family. So that's what they mean by being a man, just that some people don't understand.
Okay, so are you saying that as a man, you should suppress your emotions in difficult times?
Well, I'm not saying that in totality, but I'm just saying that the man should be the last man standing. What I mean is that you don't just suppress your emotions, because sometimes suppressing the emotions also has some negative effect. Like I believe that anything you don't willingly express in words, you may mistakenly express in actions. So when you suppress the emotions are like water. Water will find its way out. So you suppress the emotion will find its way out of you. Either you are not saying it in your words, with your mouth, but your act speaks volume.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yes.
So basically, from what we've said right now, the family has a critical role in influencing whether a man gets to suppress his emotion or not.
Yeah.
So would we say that the family as a unit has played the most toxic role as to what we see with men these days. A lot of men are depressed, a lot of men are suicidal. The statistics is astronomical. What would we say that parents are doing wrong as to the male gender?
Okay, there are a lot of things parents need to start doing. Like me, I have a son, and I'm raising my son. Now, most characters in an adult, in any adult, can be traced to upbringing. When I mention upbringing, I'm not just talking about the parents, the way the man was brought up from his family. I want to say upbringing, your family plays a role in your upbringing. In the neighborhood you grew up also plays a role. Even the time you existed on earth also plays a role. Now, where parents are getting wrong is this. Okay, if I give an example, I have my brother. Sometimes I visit his house. I hear him say to his son, "Son, have a little child," and he's crying. He say, "Don't you know that men don't cry? Don't you a boy? Don't cry." This, and then something happen, and I hear him say, "You're a man. Why?" And then this child grows up feeling like it is wrong for a man to cry. But even Jesus, who is the greatest man, wept. You understand me? And then sometimes you find out that the way the family treats the male child is as if, permit me to say this, they, like Bible says, train up a child. Now, they train the girl child, but they raise the man child, the male child. What do I mean? You find out that right from when they are training the girl, no matter the expensive school they send the girl to, they still teach her to be in the kitchen, how to cook, they ensure she knows how to do some chores in the house. But I find out that they don't put the male kids through those processes. And then sometimes they then say to the female in the house, don't you know someday you're going to be a wife. But all those things, they are preparing her mind for the future. But you have to see parents tell their male children that someday you're going to be a husband. You understand me? So for that, before the female goes to the marriageable age to get married, she already has a mindset that I'm going to be a wife. But the man only just gets a certain age where it dawns on him there has to be a husband. So he was not prepared for this. He had to now learn in a hard way.
Miss Ife, do you have any different opinion on what he said? So that means parents have more to do with, but when we put most of the responsibility on parents, how about culture? The culture that we, especially the African culture, in the African culture, we already, even before our parents came to be, it was already a thing that the men had to be strong. You go to farm, get your crops. There's no time to act like you're a baby, so to speak. So it's almost like, should I say, in our DNA.
Yes.
So how can we really combat that? Because like African culture is almost like in our DNA that the man is meant to be what it's meant to be. Stand tall, stand strong, don't cry. The woman can be able to do the woman thing. What do you think should be the reorientation with our culture here in Africa as pertaining the man?
For me, I think that, since our culture has embedded this solely on men, I think it's high time we'll start thinking differently. Different families take things, in a different way. The way you understand this is not the way. So they tend to act differently around it. But I think it's high time we talk to men. We start from our male children, to start showing their emotions, to express their emotions, not to be resentful or suppress it, because it could trigger to so many things. It could make them, have some psychological stresses, and it can even make them to keep to themselves when it comes to family intimacy. They can be withdrawn.
Yes.
It makes them to withdraw, not to flow as they ought to have. Yes, So I think it's high time we'll start encouraging that for our male children.
I like that you said, as we're raising male children, but we already have adults that, they are already grown. They already have that orientation that they're supposed to bottle up their emotions. So, Pastor Alfred, how would you advise a man to express his emotions, or how should he deal with his emotions without, looking weak or without scaring everyone around him? Like you said, he has to be the last man standing, but he should still be expressive. So how would you say a man should be expressive?
Well, first of all, I think that any man that really wants to do this right must erase the African culture from his mindset. Because the African culture makes the man feel like a king and the woman like a slave. You understand? So if you're a man that want to pattern your life based on the African culture, you really cannot achieve this. Like me, that's why I treat my wife sometimes, and some relatives will give me names like Umarapa. But I'm doing the right thing. Are you understanding me? Yes. That's because I don't want to be like I'm an African, but I don't want to be like to paint the picture of the typical African man, because that's a wrong image. A man is a man, whether an African, an European, just be a man. Yes. So must erase that. Okay, like for instance, like I said, I've seen cases where in some families, you see they raise the male kids in the same family as if they're superior to their sisters. So the kids are not even seeing their sisters as being
on the same
equal, you know. And so when they grow, like the moment the child is growing and feeling superior to his sister, when that child gets married, he will feel superior to his wife.
Yes.
He will not see the female. He becomes, his mindset is already polluted. You understand? So my advice to men is this: erase whatever you believe about the African culture. You must understand that this same African culture we're talking about, like this, the culture, people put up this culture. This culture started at a certain generation. You understand? Anything we practice today as a culture, someone started it some time ago. Yes. So we can start as today and start doing the right thing. Yes. There's no time you do the right thing that is late. That's wrong. We can start doing the right thing now.
Yes, I completely
agree. All right,
agree
thank you
with
so much. The conversation is getting interesting already. Please do stay with us. We'll be right back.
Hey there! Are you looking to record your videos, do your voiceovers, and take your professional pictures? Look no further. With our state-of-the-art newsroom, photography, kitchen for our food content creators, and exclusive children's studio, we certainly can deliver the best studio experience. Our carefully designed studio space can bring your diverse creative content ideas to life. We aim to consistently serve value to our customers far and wide. Come, let Thav Media give life to your dreams. Thav Media, a slice of infotainment.
Welcome back. Natasha, I wanted to say something.
Yes, please. So, you find out that a lot of men have the perception, especially married men, that they cannot open up to their wives to tell them about particular issues that they have, especially like financial issues or even health challenges. They feel like the woman doesn't have the capacity to be able to absorb and prefer solutions needed, so they'll rather keep it to themselves. What's your take on that perspective some men have about their women folk?
Well, I think just like every coin has two sides, there are two sides to this issue. Some men will not tell their wives if they are going through challenges. Sometimes it's because they know the kind of wife they have. They know that if they let her know they are going through challenges, the next thing, she may not respect them anymore. She may look down on them, or maybe she will not have that kind of her love for them may reduce. Now, but some men also don't tell their wives, not from this dimension, but simply because some men have this natural perception that women don't have solutions to offer. All they want is they need things, but they don't bring anything to the table. And let me just digress a bit by saying to any woman, if you don't bring anything to the table, your relationship will not be stable. You understand? Okay, so now why men don't tell their wives their challenges sometimes is that some men also have this African mentality that women are not problem solvers. But women are the best problem solvers, you know. Now, if I tell my wife what I'm going through, I'm not telling her sometimes because I expect her to provide a solution. I'm just telling her because I think she needs to know. Now, if I'm going through challenges and I don't tell my wife what I'm facing, I shouldn't blame her for treating me certain way. You know, some men will be like, I'm going through this and my wife is still talking like this, is still making demands. Why won't she make demands? She's not aware you're owing anybody. She's not aware that EFCC is after you. She's not aware that you're owing banks. So she makes demands because she's not aware. So you don't blame her for making demands when she's not aware of what you're going through. You understand me? So it's just like in Africa, in some families, they don't allow women to talk in certain meetings. They allow women to sit. So if a man grows up in such a culture, such a family, he believes that there are certain things you don't say to a woman. Some men believe that it's not everything to tell a woman. But I think that's wrong.
Thank you. Ms. Ife, your opinion on that, please.
In line to what the pastor said, you know, we women, we can prefer solutions. A lot, unknown to them or unknown to some of them, And also, it's not going to be good for the men to bottle everything inside, keep it to themselves, only because they feel women can't do anything, So I think they should tone it down.
Okay. If we compare both genders, women, we tend to have a lot of friends. So even if we are going through something, after discussing it with our husband, we might still be lucky, or our boyfriend, the partner we're with, we might still be lucky enough to talk with our sisters, with a few friends that will help us feel better. And in a couple of days, the stress is out. But for a guy, he might only be able to discuss it with his partner. What's the healthiest way for a man to distress? Some people go to alcohol, some people go for smoking, while some would, just live recklessly while trying to distress. So what would you say is the healthiest way for a man to just let out stress?
For me, I think the healthiest way is for him to engage in some certain trainings or coaching, mentorship, things like that.
Okay.
To help him vent whatever he's feeling inside, aside from the partner.
Okay.
So I think that's
So talking should help.
They should talk.
Okay.
You keep talking.
Okay. Pastor Alfred, what do you have to say?
Well, I think I also to her part because if I should, I've been avoiding to sound like a pastor to make it spiritual, because this is not a church preaching. But if I should say this, the Bible says in Proverbs 11:14, it says, where there is no counsel, the people perish, but in the multitude of counselors, there's safety. When a man is going through issues and he goes to take alcohol, he's only suspending the pain and also accumulating the pains. Because if you take alcohol now, you forget the sorrow momentarily for that moment. But now, a sorrow you don't solve now will multiply in future, even in the next moment. So alcohol, smoking, all this drug, all this, they are not solutions at all. You understand me? But when you discuss your partner, especially if you have love for your partner, and your partner is telling you some kind words, even the Bible said that kind words turns away wrath. Your partner may not give you what you're looking for, but can tell it's well. Oh, baby, I know. Oh, baby, I'm there for you. And such things can just calm your nerves, and then you live longer. You understand me? But when you don't tell anybody, then sometimes you can seek counsel. You go to some persons, they are wiser in that field, in that area. And then they advise you. Sometimes if you also do business, you go to some business gurus and they'll advise you. If it's about relationship, you go to relationship coaches. If about spirituality, you go to pastors. So based on the issue, you know the kind of people you should go to seek counsel. But seek counsel if you can't handle it alone.
Yeah. I'll just go to the very beginning of our topic, man and his emotions. A lot of young boys seem not to understand who a true man is, who a man really is, because there's a whole lot of false sense of masculinity out there, what you should be like, what a man is perceived to be as. Pastor Kunchuku, I would ask, what would you say, how would you reorientate them? How would you turn that perspective to make them understand what a proper man is, who a real man is?
Well, I say a real man is a leader. And, there's something a leader and a ruler, not a leader. A leader is someone that's leading people, not just ruling over people. Some men have this mentality of they are rulers and if not leaders. That's why a man can tell his wife, I don't want to see you, this is your friend anymore. I don't want this person to come look for you. But the wife cannot tell him, I don't want to see your friend. I don't want to. So now a real man should just be a leader. Who is a leader? A leader is somebody that's gone the way, knows the way, and can show the way. Not somebody that is always imposing things on others. Not always making it look as if you have rule, dominating spirit. Yes. So some men have that dominating spirit. That's not manhood at all. Manhood is a man should be caring. A man should be loving. A man should be a leader.
A man should be able to cry, right?
Yes, definitely. I said in nature that Jesus cried. Yeah. Jesus wept. So if Jesus can cry, why shouldn't I cry? There are benefits in crying too.
Oh, yes. There are. Most women will know that.
And have you noticed that you have more widows than widowers? because men don't cry, men bottle up emotions. That's why you realize that you may see many women that their husbands are dead. In most couples, the man dies before the wife, before the woman. Not because the man is older, but because there are emotions bottled up that the man didn't let go and then grave through the man.
You wanted to say something?
Yes, in raising children, male children particularly, I think the parents should do more. It starts from child, childhood to adolescent, then to adult. I think they should, imbibe a lot of respect. Growing up, they should teach them how to, express themselves, how to talk to people. But it should start from them because you can't give what you don't have. So you should mind how you talk around them, how you talk to them, how you treat opposite sex. Because it's very important that the children knows that you mean what you say. So that's for me.
Men have, okay, so typically we know that the man ought to be a leader, forefront, and whether we like it or not, even in the build of the anatomy, they're built in a certain way to be able to take the harder work, so to speak, if I get that right. So my question will be, a lot you'd see online where men say the pressure is too much.
Yes.
Pressure from family, pressure from society, pressure from work is too much. But as a man, should we absolve you of your responsibility just because we want you to be more mentally stable? Should that be a thing?
Well, if a man is single and a man that is married, I don't think the pressure on that man should be the same. You understand me? Now, like I said, I'm avoiding to sound like a pastor, but you can't take it away from me that I'm a pastor. The Bible says, when you get married, the Bible says that two shall be better than one. It said that one shall chase 1,000, two shall put 10,000 to flight. He said that when one is down, the other will pull him up. So now when the pressure of family, pressure of this, any man that you hear come pressure from family, pressure from this, he's not sharing the pressures. You can share and they'll be balanced. You understand me? Why are you married if you can't share your wife? The Bible said that the man and his wife, they were naked and not ashamed. There is nothing I should not be able to share with my wife. And when you share these things, it reduces the pressure. And when this pressure is much, you can't share this pressure, it begins to affect the blood pressure. Yeah. You understand me? Yeah. So you share the pressure. When you share the pressure, it becomes balanced. And there's one mistake men make too is that they try to be doctors in the family instead of the leaders. Now, if you go to the hospital, you have a serious issue with your health, you are crying. The doctor knows that this issue is serious, but doctor will not join you to cry. Yeah. Because the moment the doctor begins to cry with you, you lose confidence. But when the doctor tells you, I can handle this. So the men try to act like doctors in the family to prove that they can handle everything.
Yeah.
But sometimes they break down.
Yeah.
Well, that has been really interesting. Thank you so much for gracing us with your presence. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to like and share your thoughts with us in the comment section. We'll see you in our next video. Bye.
That